Welcome back, everybody. Today we're talking about another serious topic. Today we're talking about Faizylegend, the world's newest Lolcow, and the rise and fall of the Vitiligo influencer. First off, I want to note that this is still a developing story. Even today, there were new updates, which we will cover. And to get a little context here, Faizylegend, a wannabe influencer, was recently accused of pedophilic actions. So again, I don't have all the details yet. This is a developing story. New leads, new details may come out as I'm editing. I'll definitely add more where I need to. But this is the facts we have now. This is all the facts and evidence, the story that we have now with the Faizylegend accusations. Faizylegend is one of those interesting characters that I came across on social media years ago. He was most popular, or kind of got his fame, from making pickup artist videos where he'll do corny little pickup lines.
Are you a blanket? Because every time I'm around you, I just want to wrap myself up in your warmth.
Or he would make a lot of videos about vitiligo, the skin condition that he has, where it makes it look like you have a bunch of different patches of different colored skin. No shade towards that. But he would make a lot of videos of characters with vitiligo, random people with vitiligo, and then even like avatars or like game characters who didn't have vitiligo but seemed kind of like it. And he'd just be like, oh, vitiligo. So beautiful. And in every one of his comments, whether it was his pickup videos or his vitiligo videos, everyone was like, Faizy, they're not letting you hit. So already Faizy's fame, quote unquote, has been tied to a lot of trolling. He even does it with like pets, and it's like, do these pets even have vitiligo? Can pets have vitiligo? I'm ignorant, obviously. And in more developing years, he has something called the Vitiligo dance, where he just does a little like this, little shimmy. This is, yeah. And then he even has a song, which is like a weird AI cover of a Weeknd song. I think Blinding Lights or something. And it's like, Vitiligo, they try to dim my glow. It sounds like a weird like Indian AI version of this. It's weird. But ever since he started getting more and more popular, people would send in fan art and fan videos of them dancing and doing the vitiligo dance. The problem with this is, again, just like the comments on the pickup artist stuff, Faizy, I don't know if he exactly didn't realize he's being trolled, because he would create these compilation videos of fans doing the vitiligo dance and stuff, but he would also attach fan art from these fans of Faizy himself. There were only very few serious fan art entries, but most of it was just sexualizing Faizy, making him into some type of weird cow furry thing with huge milkers and a big butt, and like, I don't know if Faizy's into that stuff, I don't know if Faizy's a furry, I don't know what's up, but the whole thing seemed very, very unself-aware. And again, his social media presence is linked with trolling. It all goes back to trolling. So again, he's posting these videos of just anyone. I was even tempted to send in some creepy artwork. He just hits that vitiligo dance and then just keeps showing up above him the wildest fan art. I've seen videos even on YouTube about how crazy this dude's community's fan art is. And again, Faizy even tried to be a male model and just a comedy influencer and even a cosplayer. Everything he did came with the trolls coming out here and being like, what the hell is this? Listen, I'm never gonna put anyone down for following their dreams, doing what they wanna do. You go for it. If it makes you happy, you're not hurting anyone else, you go for it. But if what you're doing is very, very interesting and like head turning, don't be surprised when people act accordingly. Again, I don't understand if he understands that people were fucking with him this whole time, but I digress. That kind of just gave you an overview of who Faizy is. Let's get into these accusations. Jesus Christ. So recently, Faizy was accused of talking to a minor inappropriately. This all apparently started by this so-called fan interacting with Faizy, probably trolling, or I don't even know what they were doing exactly. Whatever they were doing does not warrant what happens next. So Faizy sees that this person is supporting what Faizy is doing a lot. So one thing led to another. Faizy and this minor became friends on social media, and then Faizy thought it'd be a good idea to take everything to the next step and start talking sexually with a child. And when we take a look at these DMs, again, they're not confirmed yet, but just seeing the way he's trying to get ahead of all of this stuff and kind of make excuses for what he did and said, it's jarring. It's like textbook grooming. See, he claims in some of his apology videos, which we'll take a look at in a minute, that he didn't know this person was underaged, even though he says in one of these messages, but real question, so he's diverting this conversation about apparently the Flash. When you turn 18 and have money saved, do you want to meet up in Las Vegas and see me there? Like, what is this? People, this is a tale as old as time. Influencers using their power to try to manipulate and groom children. Like, there's no excuse. How could you be like, oh, I didn't know their age, you know, they were tricking me and trolling. You knew their age and were asking them to save up money when they turned 18 and go visit you in Vegas. This next one, he's asking this same person, have you done it? And the person's like, done what? And then they're just like what she said. And then the person kind of just dismisses this kind of weird advance, and then he says, that's okay, it's a natural part of life. My first time was in freshman in high school to Selena Gomez, haha. So he's talking about masturbating here. He's probably talking about, hey, have you masturbated before? Do you masturbate? Again, to a, what he thinks is an underage girl. He tries to, again, in his apologies, which we'll look at again after we look at the DMs, say, we were just talking about Big Mouth, the show. Listen, if you're talking to an adult who likes Big Mouth, fucking run, okay? Kids shouldn't even like Big Mouth, but they're too dumb to realize how dumb Big Mouth is. But, oh my god. But Faizy tries to say, oh, we're just talking about Big Mouth. But bro, you didn't have to turn away from the show and make it all about sex with kids. Jesus Christ. Again, he's asking like, oh, is Big Mouth the first time you figured out about the body and blah, blah? Like, what a creep. There is no way he can defend any of the things that he's saying. And then this person's even giving him advice for the haters, saying, this is my opinion. I think you should maybe heal from this situation first, you know, more. And he says, I love how you give me advice, mommy. What about when you turn 18? Like, he knows. Friends with benefits or a serious relationship. And then she says, I'm definitely gonna stay with my husband for as long as I can. In parentheses, not my husband yet, because this is a minor. And this last screenshot is Faizy replying to a picture of shorts that say PTSD, pussy that's so delicious. And then he sends back the big eyes and that like emoji with the sweating and shit, and he says, I'll buy it for you, save till you're 18 and we can go club. And before we get into the apology videos, I want to make a quick note about Faizy's character, who Faizy is. He seems like a very sheltered, shut-in child who didn't get out much. I don't know if that was partially because of just social things or had anything to do with his disabilities. He's deaf. He's got vitiligo. You know, we see him hanging out with other deaf people and having a good time. I don't know how much of that's gonna go on anymore. This has nothing to do with his disabilities. This has nothing to do with his upbringing, because you can still be a shut-in, you can still have disabilities and not be a piece of shit groomer online. So Faizy has a now since deleted apology video, which we'll take a look at right now.
So a lot of people accuse me of being pedo. There are screenshots of conversation between me and Tia.
And here are the screenshots.
Explain first. I was confused. How did I first meet her on? About a year ago, she gave a lot of good comments on all of my posts to protect me from haters who were calling me bad things like fake deaf, old man, saying mean things about my face, and much more. So I added her as a friend because she was super nice. We became good friends because she supported me a lot. When we first started talking, I did ask her how old she was, but she never told me. I didn't have any pictures on her page or anything, so I just assumed that she might be shy. And I continue to be her friend because I don't judge anyone. I don't judge anyone by their look.
What? You don't judge them by their look? What if they look young, so you don't judge them? What?
Person with a good heart and who I consider a friend. Which honestly,
you shouldn't have.
I should not have. And I'll explain more. And I'm being completely honest about this.
Oh my god, change your fire alarm. Holy crap. She did change your fire. What?
They say she was a minor, but she also said she was planning to go to college. So I assumed that she was 17, maybe close to years. I truly do. Months later, she was still supporting me through my downs, always when I'm needing help, even helping me with content videos. After about a year, I assumed that she was already in college. Actually, I have not assumed, but I did.
You assume for everything.
And that's when our conversation got a little deeper. Most me jokes, like Family Guy type jokes, but I never said anything sexual to her. I would never do that to minors. I would never. So yes, I did say dirty jokes, but they were more like random fan art stuff, like picture with a dick nose or something things like that. That one day she exposed the screenshots. Trusted her.
Did you trust her? She's a minor.
Yeah, I got tricked. I got fooled.
Yeah, you poor thing.
So I had to compile this apology video from a different YouTube video. Shout out to them for covering this story. But like I said, there's been even more updates and we've gotten Faizy's side even more. But like we've seen from this apology video, it's nothing but excuses. It's nothing but kind of shushing the blame away and being dismissive of the whole thing. He's blaming haters and trolls online and kind of saying, I'm not gonna let the trolls and haters get to me. My best advice, Faizy, is to own up to what you actually did and don't try to sugarcoat anything. Own up to it and get off the internet. Just get off it. You're in a way deeper hole than you realize. Get out of there, bud. But again, he's blaming trolls and haters and stuff like that. Listen, the number one rule of just being online and trying to date or look for significant others, you make sure the person's of age. Are you serious? Like, again, a tale as old as time. I didn't know that they were 17. Oh, it's not what it looks like. Every influencer who does this type of shit, it's the same story over and over and over again. There's literally just no excuse. Again, unless this is like some insane smear campaign against Faizy. But again, I highly doubt it based off of the way that Faizy is acting and that apology video and some of the other posts that he had on his Instagram, which seemed like, again, he's trying to get ahead of this. He's trying to save face, save image before everyone sees those screenshots from before and makes their final judgment. 4 days ago, Faizy posted a blank screen with the only Faizy Discord server has been deleted due to too much hate and false bullying accusations against me. It was good for the community. My goal has always been to bring peace and love. So for now, I'll be live streaming only on Instagram. Once the comments become more positive, I'll launch a server called Faizy Fans. Faizy, since then, has been shutting down all of his comment sections. A day later, again, completely shut down comment section. He posts this. Again, seems like more cope and more excuses. Growing up, I was isolated a lot, lonely, depressed, filled with hatred, and I asked God for just one thing, friendship, for people to see me for who I truly am, and that's all I wanted. Again, he's trying to gain sympathy from his background. And listen, I would give him that sympathy if he wasn't a piece of shit, and he wasn't trying to groom minors. And he wasn't looking for that friendship in grooming minors. As I grew older, I finally embraced who I am through my deafness and vitiligo, and I decided to share my journey with the world through social media. Eventually, I became an influencer, quote unquote. After the vitiligo dance went viral, people were constantly sending him DMs. I don't care if every Girl Scout in America is sending you DMs. Don't be a pedophile. It made me feel special. And yes, I did message a lot of people, no matter how they looked or how old they are. I did it because I love connecting with people and almost like a meet and greet. And I said thanks to those who did the vitiligo dance, created fan art, or shared how I inspired them. Again, all trolling towards him that I guess he's not getting, or he's just so delusional that he wants it to be a fandom. But again, he's saying, oh, these minors made me feel special. It's okay if I'm grooming them. Most of the time when I responded, fans became so excited to hear from me. Why did I send those messages? Because I love making people smile and helping them feel worthy. So, grooming and being sexual and saying, hey, want to meet up when you're 18? That's making someone feel special and worthy? No, not exactly. That's taking advantage of someone's age. Someone, again, Faizy is 27, so someone who's 10 years younger than you, you're taking advantage of that, trying to groom them and trying to get them to meet up with you and wear those PTSD shorts. at the club because I love making people smile. I don't see myself as a famous person. Only a guy who likes to bring joy to others. Faizy, you are far from famous, and I'm sure this thing is what you'll be most famous for. Recently, though, many people called me a pedophile because I was talking to a minor. It wasn't just that you were talking to the minor, it was that you were being purposefully sexual and grooming them. She never told me her age, even though you knew she was under 18. She was actually a big supporter and helped me grow my brand on social media. She became a close friend. I'm not sure why she decided to expose our messages in the way that made people assume I groomed her, especially when she didn't show the full conversation. Again, Faizy, show the full conversation, bud. Show us that she's wrong. Please prove us wrong. I would love to make an update video. I was wrong. Faizy's not a pedophile. But, buddy, you were textbook definition of grooming this minor on social media. We were just talking about a TV show, Big Mouth, that has inappropriate scene that leads to text that show and something related to my girlfriend. I have never said anything inappropriate directly at her, and I would never do that to anyone, especially a minor. Lies. Lies, lies, lies. We're starting to see a lot of weird sexual, misguided adventures of Faizy. For the past 4 years since I started on social media, people have bullied me, accused me of doing wrong things, and so much more, even before this recent situation happened. And people were just trolling you. And yet, I kept making content. Why? Because I chose to ignore the haters who tried to bring me down. I did it to inspire others through Vitiligo, to help people accept themselves. And what did I get in return? More haters. Oh my god, dude. 1, don't bring the Vitiligo community down with you, bro. And 2, stop with the haters cope. You had so many haters, yes. But this isn't because haters. This is because you're grooming. He's like, oh, I've done so much for the community. What did I get in return? Hate. More and more hate. No, you've done barely anything for the community, then becoming a laughingstock online. And then you followed that up with grooming a minor. Shame on you. Shame on you, Faizy. But I'll continue to make content no matter what people say about me. I know who I am and my purpose in life to spread awareness. I personally don't care if you hate me or call me out. I know God loves me and he knows that I'm a good person. Cope, cope, cope. He'll protect me through all of this. Holy cope. Now he's posting old fake podcast interviews that he has. He used to fake being on podcasts and kind of just filming himself talking into a mic. But again, he's talking about insecurity and jealousy and the haters and how they're all coming after him and they're jealous of his success.
Because honestly, you don't even know who they are or what they're about. People will always have something to say, but at the end of the day, it's the ones who love you for who you are that really matter. The haters out there, they don't know your journey, your struggles, or the amazing things you're capable of. They're just throwing shades because they're too busy with their own issues. Instead of giving them attention, focus on the people who lift you up, who see your worth, and who support you no matter what. They're the ones who will stick around, celebrate your victories, and help you grow. So don't let negativity get in your head. Keep your focus on the love and support you have got, and let the rest slide right off.
At the end of the day, again, this is obviously Faizy trying to cope and trying to get ahead of this controversy to make it seem like this is a story that was sown by the haters to take him down, when it couldn't have been further from that. He's even posting like half black and white pictures of him and a wolf and talking about being a lone wolf. Like, it's not looking good for you, bud. Just apologize, admit what you did, and get off of social media. Get off of social media. And then today was the most recent update. He posted again another blank screen. It's okay. It's a mistake from your own actions. You will be okay. First, you need to find yourself. Love yourself first, not others. Don't think about haters or other people. Again, he's trying to cope. He's trying to blame it on haters. He's trying to make it seem a little bit like he's taking accountability, but he's not at all, like one bit. But he's just kind of like, yeah, I made a mistake. So we learn from mistakes, right? Who cares what other people say about you making mistakes? You just gotta love yourself.
So I wasn't able to get that last post screenshotted, but here are some other newer posts screenshotted. Here's one where he's trying to say that fame has changed him, the virality has made him a pedophile, and he'll be better. And then, again, He's talking about being brainwashed by social media, and apparently social media turned him into a pedophile. It's so interesting how quickly people turn to religion in times like these so that they can cope even further and be like, okay, at least I have God on my side, right? Again, showing Faizy trying to get ahead of this situation and be like, I'm going to church, I'm gonna be better, I swear to God, guys, I'm not a pedophile, don't believe that stuff that came out about me.
This is the biggest cope I have ever seen in my life. Again, after seeing his side of the story, it sounds like every influencer's grooming story. It's not what it looks like. I didn't know that they were 17, blah, blah, blah. We were just friends. I didn't even do anything in person. Like, blah, blah, blah. What Faizy doesn't understand is that people know this has nothing to do with haters. Haters are not the ones controlling your thumbs to groom minors. Yes, they may paint you in a bad light or hate you or troll you in the comments, but they're not gonna pull this type of shit out of nowhere, bro. So I guess all aboard the cope train. Captain Faizy's heading us towards hell. Again, he's been creepy since day one. The pickup videos, the Omegle videos, the female furry fan art, the erotic sister comics. As long as there are adults and children on the internet, this will always happen. The internet is not safe for kids. Get your kids off the internet because some creep like Faizy is going to groom them. Hopefully, Faizy learned that this bullshit ain't working, bro. Apologize, fess up, stop trying to gaslight people, and for the love of God, get off the internet, dude. There needs to be a thorough investigation on the social media side, and banning needs to take place. Someone who's been exposed, like Faizy, should not be allowed to run amok on social media. Yes, things can be twisted or faked on the internet to make people look bad and destroy their image. But as we saw today, that was not the case in the downfall of Faizylegend. Someone who was an aspiring vitiligo influencer, dancer, model, flew way too close to the sun, got way too comfortable with those trolls and minors in the DMs, and he ended up shooting himself in the foot and doing some disgusting stuff and got exposed for it. So that pretty much wraps up our video today on Faizylegend. This was such a roller coaster. It was so crazy seeing someone who I've followed and kind of like, looked at as another wacko online is now a pedophile. He's like, I'm actively looking at updates for the grooming allegations. Again, I'll add any updates for this developing story. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more content just like this, people. And have a good one, folks. Take care. Pedophiles beware.
Seriously, shout out to Clicky O. I wouldn't have been able to get that apology video without him. His video is hilarious. Check it out.